Alright, today we're going to look at a 1966 Schwinn Stingray Super Deluxe. These Super Deluxe models were added to the Schwinn line in '65. We're just going to start from the beginning. We're going to cover all the parts. We're going to talk about everything on this bike. We'll take it down, take it for a little ride. And so this auction is going to be a 10-day auction. It's going to start on Thursday. That's June 15th. It'll run through the 25th, which is Sunday. So right from the beginning, we'll just start right here with the handlebars. So these were the wide ape hanger. This was the 31-inch wide. These got the Schwinn scripted on the handlebars. And everything that's stamped or date coded that you can't see, we'll have pictures of at the end of the video. So these are correct for a 66 Stingray. They flattened out right here at the top. These were the bars used in 63, 64, 65, and 66. There was no date code on those, but it has a Schwinn stamped here on the neck. All right, we'll go right to the grips. These are the white, chubby, Schwinn approved grips. Schwinn used only the white in 63, 64, 65, and 66. And these are what you call the chubby style, which is correct. We'll come right down here to the neck. The neck has the date code 66 stamped on it, holding the handlebars on. From there we'll move right to the head badge. That is a Chicago head badge, which is correct for 66. And then right here is one of the distinct features that makes it a Super Deluxe. This is the stock Springer forks. It has the AS for the Arnold Schwinn. These were short production, 2 years. These are a little harder to find than the Springer forks that are on the crates. You know, these accommodated the 20-inch wheel instead of the 16-inch wheel that goes on the crates. Now this fender, this is the right heavy-duty razor fender. This thing is double crimped for the Springer front end. So it has a crimp here and a crimp here where it sits right inside the Springer forks. Now on this front wheel, we'll start with the tire. This is a really nice, easy to read Schwinn Westwind front tire, USA. And inside that tire we have a Schwinn USA 2. We'll have pictures of that at the end. Now on that front wheel, this is an S7 Schwinn tubular front wheel. It's got a real deep stamp on it. Everything that's stamped and marked and scripted on this bike is really easy to read. So it's a really clean, nice chrome Schwinn S7 tubular front wheel. And then this was the deluxe model front hub with the nice Schwinn and cursive scripted on the hub. That was a carryover from the 50s, still using the same style here in 66. And so we still have the right key flanged washer on that installed on the chain guard side. So everything's right on that front wheel. Now we'll move right on over here to the crank. So this is the 5.5-inch crank. By this time in 66, they had raised the bottom bracket up. So they went with the longer crank, a 5.5-inch crank on the Lucky 7 sprocket. That crank is date coded 66. And on that crank we have the Bow Union made German pedals. That's the small cap, correct for 66. Chain guard. This is another feature that makes this bike different from the Deluxe to the Super Deluxe, is the chrome trim on the chain guard. You can see right here it says Super Deluxe on it. It's got the sharp tip chain guard. Let's see, so we got the seat post clamp. It's going to have the AS on it, which you'll be able to see better pictures on that. It's on the other side. It's got a real nice deep AS for Arnold Schwinn on the seat post clamp. We got a beautiful seat here. This is the Silver Glow deep tucked seat. So that's different from the standard Silver Glow that was on the 66s. It wouldn't have been the deep tuck, it just would have been the regular Silver Glow. But on the Deluxe and the Super Deluxe, you have the deep tucked on it. That's a nice USA Schwinn. It's not a reproduction. That's correct seat. Let's see, we'll move right back here to the back tire. So this is going to be the first part that we come to that wouldn't have been on this bike had you bought it brand new in '66. Now this should have been a knobby white wall Schwinn tire. The tire was trash, it was gone, so I replaced it, but we used a really good replacement. This is a USA new old stock gripper slick white wall Schwinn tire. And so this is original equipment to Schwinn. This is not a reproduction. As far as I know, which I have never seen one, I don't think they're reproducing these gripper slicks. So if you know where they're reproducing them, I'd like to hear about it. But so this is a new old stock USA gripper slick Schwinn back tire. It also has a Schwinn approved USA tube inside there. So we got that on an S2 center stamp Schwinn tubular Schwinn wheel, and that's with the Bendix 2-speed blue band. So on that blue band, so that's a 1 to 1.5 ratio on the overdrive, and which is different from the yellow band. You can always kind of think about if it's got the smaller sprocket, if it's got the Lucky 7, and it's a 2-speed, it should be matched up with the blue band. When we went through the larger sprocket, the 46 tooth, they matched those up when they were 2-speed with the yellow band. So all that's right on this bike, and all that's been rebuilt. It's working great. Second small item that wouldn't have been on this bike, this back reflector, is the Japanese-made cat eye, and not the Gluco USA. But you know, I mean, that's a nice it's a nice piece. It's not a reproduction. I mean, that's an original Japan-made cat eye 2-pie back reflector. So that's a good quality piece. It's just not what would have been on there, you know, had you bought it brand new in '66. The chain has got the 2-piece master link on it, not the 3-piece, which was used, you know, in the early models on the '66. Kickstand is the longer kickstand. You can see it goes all the way back to the back axle, which would have been right for '66. So what you got here, you got a real nice collection of parts, original and correct parts. We covered the two that wouldn't have been on the bike had you bought it brand new, only the reflector and the tire. I wet sanded this bike. I smoothed out any of the little imperfections on the original paint. We put down new water transfer decals. I cleared over the entire bike. All that's sealed. They sealed all this. As you know, that Schwinn didn't use a primer on these chrome trim chain guards. So that paint really comes off easy, but I put a new sealant over it, so hopefully it'll protect it a little bit more. So I think this bike will stand tall in anybody's collection. It's going to be a nice addition. Whoever gets it's going to be really happy with it. So I'm going to take it down, and well, I'll show this back wheel one time. So this has got the 2-speed. You just rotate it back. So this would be the 1 to 1.5 ratio. You can feel it. It's a little harder to pedal. This would be, you get more top end speed on that one, and then just rotate it again. And it's getting easier here. So everything's working good on the bike. I'm going to take it down and ride it a little bit. We'll flip it around and show the other side of it out in the sun, and we'll take a closer look at that quality seal decal that's covered up right there. I wish you luck, and thanks for watching. Alright, so we got the bike down. You can really get a good look at that seat, all the sparkles in it right there, and how nice that seat is in the sun. Really see where it shows up right there. And a couple of parts we talked about I was going to show you better. You know, there's your quality seal on that one decal that you couldn't see when it was up in the stand. And then I'm going to turn it around here. See that seat post clamp? It's got that really deep AS on it. Really nice. Everything's really nice, script, easy to read on this bike. I think we covered everything inside. You know, that back fender's correct also. Razor edge, heavy duty. I might have left that part out. So I'm gonna get on it just for a second here. I'm gonna ride it just down and back. So your words, everything's working good. We did a complete mechanical, I call it a mechanical restoration. Basically just took all the bearings out, cleaned everything, re-greased everything, put it back together, tuned it, tweaked it. got everything just right on this bike. All right, let me get it going. All right, so I started out in the tough gear, in the 1 to 5 gear. So then this is the normal gear. And I'm gonna shift it again. And there, back into the 1 to 1.5, the overdrive. So the bike's shifting well, and you saw that Springer front end. It's functional. Everything's in good shape. It's going to be a nice bike for somebody. I wish you luck, and thanks for watching.